What's going on, people? I've got a little bit of a complaint, or a little bit of a grievance, if you will. I went and saw the reboot, or the reimagining, or whatever the fuck you want to call, of this movie here. Or this TV show squashed into a movie. However you want to look at it, okay? I went and saw this 2017 version and was highly disappointed. Alright, look. I know the movie's been getting praises left and right. People are kissing the ass of Pennywise's actor, which is fine. He did a great Pennywise, no complaints in that department, but the overall movie, I don't know if you've been paying any attention to the internet, but every time I turn around on my Facebook, I see articles of actor who played Pennywise reveals scarier scenes were removed from movie. This movie was a fucking joke. Anyone who tells you different, we didn't see the same fucking movie. This had more horrific scenes in it. This scared the shit out of a lot of my generation. What the fuck is with the 2017 rendition? This thing was on Prozac. This thing was on fucking pills. This thing was on fucking, I don't even, Xanax, I guess. I don't know. This was fucking terrible. I wish I would have waited on it to come to fucking Blu-ray and went to Redbox the damn thing. It was fucking horrendous. There were more jokes than there were jump scares. The jokes were fine and they were funny. That's not my complaint. My complaint is it is supposed to be a horror movie and scare people. The clowns that were running rampant in 2016 during Halloween last year were more frightening than this movie. And why people are kissing the movie's ass so much has to do with nostalgia. It has nothing to do with the movie and it actually being a decent movie. Because if you sit down and you watch the movie and you see the movie for what the movie really is and you compare it to it, you'll notice how much of a piece of shit it really is. Because me and my girlfriend sat there and we were literally looking at each other going, I didn't know we were coming to watch a comedy. I mean, the jokes, again, were on point. They were fine. There's nothing wrong with the jokes. And yes, it was a movie with a whole bunch of kids gathered together and in the 80s, and that was a scene. But I didn't know kids were equipped to go back and forth that fast with jokes. And I watched a bunch of movies from the 80s. I love The Breakfast Club, Weird Science, 16 Candles, what is it, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, shit like that. And even those movies did not show that kind of setting, okay? So I'm just confused as to where the hell, those kind of quips were coming from. Obviously, this movie was just mismatched all over the place. I mean, it was good. Obviously, it was to make you, get captured by it and hopefully capture your imagination. But at the same time, you had a few jump scares. The movie is based on a clown named Pennywise, which is a monster that you find out later. And this is, again, only chapter 1, which to a lot of people would suggest there's going to be more than 2 or 3 chapters. But a lot of people only suggest that it's going to be 2, which to me brings to me, in my mind, going, why not just call it part 1? That way part 2 can be the final. But again, I gotta sit there and wonder to myself, why? Why was this movie taken as a joke? Because I was hoping to be scared. I was hoping to go in there and be terrified. And in fact, when I go see a movie, I'm a little anxious because I'm like, I don't know what's fixing to happen. I don't know what's going to go on. And this movie literally made me lose all that horror anxiety within the first 30 minutes. Even the introduction to Pennywise wasn't scary. The Georgie's kill scene was a joke. I mean, him looking creepy did nothing to me. Like I said, the clowns of 2016 that went around terrorizing everybody were scarier. And I know you're going to be like, oh, well, that's reality versus fiction, or reality versus screen. But here's the thing. The screen should be able to scare you beyond reality because it's made up and you're supposed to get sucked into that world. This movie failed to do that. You literally knew you were watching a movie about, what, 8 kids? The ages in that movie seemed like they were all over the place, the kids did. And, I mean, there were just jabs everywhere. I mean, literally, they were jabs at everything. Like, how in the hell did Richie's mom know where to find Richie after he broke his arm? You know, cell phones and GPS tracking Kid Tracer and all that shit did not exist then. But yet his mom knew where to find, like, she knew where to go find him. Like, she found him like that. And I'm sitting there like, how the fuck did she know where to find him? That's impossible. I mean, even if she was out looking for him for like 30-something minutes in that little town, it's impossible for a parent in the 80s to find their kid like that. Okay? Because, again, the technology just didn't exist. And there's a lot of places in a little town like that for a kid to go missing. So I was like, there's so many things in this movie that just doesn't make sense. And like I said, it just seemed like, okay, for all the people who are praising this movie, obviously you're just praising this movie for the nostalgia factor of it. Because if you actually watched it for the whole movie, for being a fan of the actual It, then you're gonna be disappointed. I mean, again, yes, there's a few jokes here and there that will remind you of the actual movie It, and you do enjoy the comedy between the kids and being a smartass. But again, what the hell? You know what I mean? And they did have a lot of that, you know, dragging this movie out in the movie. I mean, they lost me a good few times in the movie. I think like 3 or 4, because I was like, seriously, get on with it. And because of these things that keep popping up on my Facebook of the guy who played Pennywise talking about they removed certain horror scenes in it, I'm like, well, why in the fuck? Why didn't you cut out certain scenes that just didn't need to be there and add in the more horrific scenes to make the movie actually scarier? Take out a few of those fucking jokes to dumb down the comedy aspect of it and add in the horror aspect of it, because I'm pretty sure a few people are like me wondering, why did I just watch a comedy? I thought I went to go get scared. But then again, nobody's saying this. So let me be the first to say it aloud on camera. It 2017 movie is a great comedy, but a piss poor horror movie. Stephen King, your 2 movies, Dark Tower and It, flat out suck. This is way better for what it's supposed to be. Hopefully the sequel does better. Hopefully the director doesn't feel like removing all the actual horror parts. And I hope to God when this movie comes out to Blu-ray, there's a director's cut that's like 3 to 4 hours long where they add in all those fucking scenes. Because if not, fuck it, I'm not gonna buy the damn thing because I done seen the piss poor already version of it. That's a comedy, and I didn't like the comedy version of it. I wanted it to be scary. I wanted these kids to be scared. I wanted to feel like this is an actual thing. You know, I wanted to feel like, oh my god, there's a reason to fear clowns, and I've never been scared of clowns, ever. And even after watching this version, I was still never scared of clowns. And I was hoping, okay, with 2016's clown, you know, fucking rampage, I was like, maybe this will do it. It failed horribly. It didn't do anything for me. So that's what I have to say. That's my opinion on the movie. If you don't like it, you can thumbs down the video all you want to. But I'm tired of seeing everybody fucking just, you know, kissing so much ass over a movie that honestly was not as good as they want to make it out to be. It's good for a comedy. It's a good overall movie for it being a movie, but overall it flat out was horrible as a horror movie. Quit classifying it as a horror movie. There were way more comedy aspects of it. There were way more jokes in the movie than any other horror movie on the planet. I'm pretty sure there's about 20 other, I'm pretty sure Annabelle Creation, which is a horror movie, doesn't even have half the amount of jokes that it has. I'm just pointing that out just to show you what a real horror movie looks like versus a piece of shit comedy slash horror movie. Okay, if anything, it's a comedy slash horror trying to be comedy, because this director ripped out all the horror parts of the movie and added in three jump scare moments. That's all it does. Deuces.